I could buy a holiday home in Clacton.
Don't you,
Andrew,
don't
enjoy
you,
it.
But don't
now
you
let's go back to
that's true.
Well, it's not me to accept.
Well,
it's true. I don't accept anything I'm told. It's for the voters to determine what's accepted. We see all the candidates there. They're now gathered on the stage of the town hall. The returning officer has got the results in his hand on that piece of paper, and here we go.
People are welcome to come forward now if they want to the front.
Thank you.
All right. Well, he's asking, the returning officer's asking people to gather around in the front. Doesn't seem to be that many people there if you exclude the people who are doing the counting. It's only 2:45, so why not drag it out for another couple of minutes? We're not going anywhere, are we, Mr. Duggan?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm now ready to announce the result of the Clacton Parliamentary Constituency by-election. I, Ian Davidson, being the acting returning officer at the election of a Member of Parliament for the Clacton constituency held on the 9th of October 2014, do hereby give notice that the number of votes recorded for each candidate at the said election is as follows. Carswell John Douglas Wilson, commonly known as Douglas, UK Independence Party, UKIP 21,113. Graham Andrew Michael, commonly known as Andy, Liberal Democrats, 483. Hope Allen, commonly known as Howling Lord, the Monster Raiding Looney Party, 127. Rose Charlotte Independent, 56. Sizer Bruce Francis Independent, 205. Southall Christopher John, commonly known as Chris, Green Party, 688. Watling Giles Francis, Conservative Party candidate, 8,709. And Young Timothy John, commonly known as Tim, Labour Party, 3,957. The number of ballot papers rejected was as follows. Want of an official mark, 0. Voting for more candidates than voter was entitled to, 3. Writing or mark by which voter could be identified, 1. Being unmarked or wholly void for uncertainty, 44, giving a total of 48. The electorate is 69,118. The number of ballot papers issued was 35,386, and the turnout was 51.26%. And I do hereby declare that the said Douglas Carswell is duly elected as a Member of Parliament for the said constituency. Thank you.
First, I would like to thank the returning officer and your team and the police. Thank you for ensuring today's election ran so smoothly. You were magnificent. To my fellow candidates in this contest, I pay my utmost respect. In an age where there's a growing distrust for the democratic process, it takes a certain something to put yourself forward for public office. And well done for doing so with such cheerfulness and such decency. To the electorate of Clacton, my gratitude. Thank you for electing me. I resigned from Parliament to face this election because I answer first, foremost and last to you. You're my boss. I will not let you down. To my new party, I offer these thoughts. Humility when we win. Modesty when we're proved right. If we speak with passion, let it always be tempered by compassion. We must be a party for all Britain and all Britons, first and second generation as much as every other. Our strength must lie in our breadth. If we stay true to that, there is nothing that we cannot achieve. Nothing we cannot achieve in Essex and East Anglia, in England and the whole country beyond. And yes, next, in Rochester. In Rochester, as in Clacton, I believe voters will reject negative campaigns by old party machines. Mark Reckless did not have to face a by-election. He's done the honourable thing. He's one of the most decent people I know in politics. He's a patriot, a diligent constituency MP. I'm confident that local people will vote for the man they know, not for the smears of the Westminster machine. Government of the people, by the people, for the people, said Abraham Lincoln famously at Gettysburg. Those were not his words. Those were the words of that greatest of Englishmen, John Wycliffe, translator of the Bible. Wycliffe's words were a precursor to an extraordinary transformation, change in technology that redefined the relationship between the governing and the governed. So too in our own time. Whether you sit astride a mass of power in Westminster or in banking, in Whitehall or in Brussels, Wycliffe's words will become ever more insistent. The governing can no longer presume to know what is right for the governed. Crony corporatism is not the free market. Cosy cartel politics is not meaningful democracy. Change is coming with the realization that things can be better. It is an honour to be a small part of that here this evening. Thank you.
And so Douglas Carswell becomes UKIP's first ever Member of Parliament in the House of Commons, and he does so with a result in which he has robbed home tonight in the Clacton constituency. He got over 21,000 votes, 60% share of vote. The Conservatives were down to a 25% share. You see them trailing there with just over 8,700. Labour with just under 4,000 votes. Everybody else nowhere. It was a historic night, not just for Mr. Carswell's victory, but also it was the worst ever Liberal Democrat performance, worst ever Liberal performance since the Second World War, with a mere 1% share of the vote there. There was a 44% swing to UKIP, which rivals the biggest ever by-election swing, which I believe was in Bermondsey in 1983, when the Lib Dems were the beneficiaries then, and Liberals has now gone from that to their worst ever result. So Douglas Carswell has won by an even bigger majority, and there you see the share of the vote there. UKIP 60% share. They didn't contest Clacton in 2010 general elections, so their share of the vote is up 60% from nothing. Conservative share of the vote is down 28%. Labour share of the vote is down 14%, and the Greens are up 1 to 2%. Liberal Democrats were down 12% to a 1% share of the vote. So not only has Mr. Carswell won, he's won by a massive, convincing majority. He has robbed home. It is a thumping result for him tonight, and I would suggest a disastrous result for the Conservatives.
Well, every commentator predicted that he was going to win. The opinion polls at the outset suggested there was going to be a majority of this sort of scale. It's not quite as bad as the 44% lead that he had in the first opinion poll, but quite right.
He's got 60% of the vote, and you've got 25.
I'm saying it's in line with the opinion polls and the commentators up until now. I don't understand the logic of defectors. Like Douglas Carswell, if they want the things that they care about, they know it's only the Conservative Party that can deliver them.
The Conservatives in Haywood and Middleton abandoned the Conservatives to vote for UKIP to try and defeat Labour. Almost did it, but they didn't quite. Labour voters have abandoned Labour in Clacton to vote for UKIP to beat the Conservatives.
Well, I think it was very clear from the outset that this was a squabble between UKIP and the Conservatives. Clearly our vote, although 11% is perfectly creditable, I think, and we ran a very good, positive campaign there, led by Chris Brown, but it is down on our general election. I think what you're seeing there is a classic squeeze, as people basically focus on UKIP or the Tories.
Well, that was my point.
Exactly, they think it's a two-horse race. and that's exactly what has happened there. I suspect
You have been squeezed.